Guys, welcome to episode number 4 of the Derby Crow Road Live, and to start this episode we are going into our second Premier League game of the season. If you look at the fixtures though, good old classic EA have decided to put two fixtures next to each other. So we've got the MK Dons game on the 25th, and then the really important game against Rangers, where we only managed to win 4-3 at Ibrox, so you never know, like we could lose that game if we're not careful. So I'm going to be playing a super weak team in the Carabao Cup, mainly because it's MK Dons, and like we should be able to win with our alternate team. It's a really tough episode. I may be able to get, like, I might just go up to there and then have another episode in the summer. I don't know why I keep calling it the January transfer window, but get another episode in the summer window, and then that way we can get some more business done. So we have got 20 million and just under 70k in wages, and we've only got 3 centre-backs, so I think it's kind of logical that we're going to go for a centre-back in this episode. There are some interesting choices, actually, if I sort it by position. We've got the safe option here in Marco Capano from Cagliari. Really like him. He's such a good player on this game. Can play left-back if need be. 91 strength. He'll do a job there, there's no doubt about it. And then we've got some more extravagant choices. We've got Sergio Ramos here. Now, his release clause is obviously 50 million, but if we can get him as close as we can to that value, there's a slim chance we could actually do it. Same with Thiago Silva. We could probably get Thiago Silva. I know he's only got 50 pace, but he's still got very... Has he got... Hang on, what's his strength? 50... maybe not then. Maybe not Thiago Silva because of that strength. I don't mind Sergio Ramos. Like, he's still got pretty decent stats. Obviously, very good tackling stats. Just physically has dropped off a little bit in the sprint speed department. But yeah, I'm going to remove Thiago Silva because he's only got 50 pace and 50 strength. I didn't actually realise that. I don't mind the pace being a bit low, but when they've got no strength at all, they're just not going to be a good defender at all. Simon Kjaer, though, from Sevilla might be a good option as well. He's only worth 13 million, and he's on super cheap wages at only 20 grand. So financially, this deal, and in terms of player quality, you've got a very good player here, very similar-ish to Sergio Ramos in quality, to be fair. And then we got some more bigger options here: Jemison, Van Dijk, Savic, Semedo, and Joel Matip. Joel Matip would be quite nice, but I don't think I'll be able to afford him. That's the only issue. So Bayern Munich are looking for 21 for Ramos. Now, I don't really want to be paying much more than his value, to be frankly honest, because of him being so old. He is obviously going to drop a couple of ratings throughout the season, but he'd be a really cool signing. They're sticking to their price tag, so we do need to kind of move it a little bit closer at least. I'll go to his value on the dot, because then at least we negotiated there a good million. And they're going to take some time, which is a little bit frustrating, because I kind of want to get this wrapped up now before the Burnley game. So I'm going to go as close as I can to his value. That'd be super. That'd be actually a great deal, because he's on super cheap wages as well, and they're happy with that. That is a great deal for Simon Kjaer, if we can. I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway. Obviously, we played him in the Euros in the final against Denmark. Like, if you look at his, like, I know his release clause is like twice of his value, but he's got about 65 pace, which for a 31-year-old's not bad, 83 strength, and then 82 tackling and 82 heading. So he's just all round very good work rates as well at low high. So let's go negotiate. We may be able to get one more deal done if this is super cheap in his wages. So I think I'm going to just accept this 31k wages and a just over $500,000 signed non-bonus. I know he's 31, but I think his pace stats are perfectly fine as they are. He's still 81 rated, so still has the ability to play. He's higher rated than both of our centre backs. You can look at it that way. 82 rated, sorry. So I'm in a way, I want to stick him in the team now. But these two work really well together, because you've got the pace of Kera, and then you've got Dunk with his defending stats, which are actually lower. So maybe putting Kjaer in would be the logical thing to do. I've also given him a crucial first-team position. Obviously, both of them are going to play because of Champions League football. I'll go for Kjaer, actually, because he's got the better stamina as well. Also, I can try him in the next game against Burnley. So I'm going to wait for this scout report to come back for a few of these wingers. I think Quincy Promes I won't be able to afford, so let me remove him from the shortlist. But there's a few options down here. If you look at the wingers, we've got players such as Izquierdo, Sisto, and maybe Jesse Lingard, I think, from Manchester United, wherever he is, or Redmond. There's another option. So there's a few options here where I can include Bellarabi plus a bit of money, and they could probably work out. There's our new signing on the right hand side there. Great bit of business in my opinion. 13 million for him. As long as we keep playing him, he won't really drop down in ratings as well. So let's go into this first game against Burnley. It will be his debut, of course. Burnley are one of them teams that we're a bit hit and miss against, so it'll be interesting to see what the result is, of course. We have got a few players low on fitness here on the bench, so I think we will go for a full fit team for this game, and then have to play quite a rotation side for that game against MK Dons. It's kind of annoying it's giving him the captain's armband straight away, because obviously as a new signing you probably wouldn't, but maybe. John Terry, for example, went to Aston Villa, got the captain's armband straight away. But let's have a look at the lineup for Burnley. They've got Nick Pope in goal, Piszczek, Tarkowski, Barbosa, Charlie Taylor, Soriano, Cork, Keith Denbeld, obviously a former player of ours, we did sell him to, Cortabia, Andre from Porto, and Bas Dost. It's actually quite a multinational team. Like it's not really looking like a Sean Dyche team where he's literally got players just from the UK. I'm trying to think of you could say Ashley Barnes, but I think he's actually, I think because of a grandparent, that's the only reason he's Austrian. But I genuinely can't think of a Burnley player that doesn't come from like the UK area. So yeah, it's a nice, interesting Burnley team. Cross here to Vidra. Can he get a shot off? It's through on goal with the shot and there with the goal. Last 15 minutes. The Czech finally breaks the deadlock to make it 1-0 in the game. Really important we get the win. We need to get these wins early on in the season just to get us in a great position. Especially with all the Champions League fixtures coming up, we won't have the time to really rest the team, so it's going to be tough. There's full time against Burnley, a 1-0 victory. Not the most interesting games in the world, but to actually break the deadlock, we had to change the formation in the end. As you can see, only 3 saves for Nick Pope and the goal from Vidra, the highlights. In the end, what we did was play this formation. Now, it's an option we have because of the likes of Ep4 and Wisdom being potentially centre-backs as well, and Oxlade-Chamberlain can play right wing-back. It is an option we can maybe go to. Also, players like Hansen could play in this formation quite nicely. Obviously, at left wing-back, we've got a few options. Obviously, Darmian's there. We've got Sesuan Cambo as an option. So we could very easily play this formation. It's just whether it works or not. Obviously, Bellarabi could do a job at right wing-back. I remember playing him against that in that City game. As long as you've got one defensive side, your other side can be quite attacking. Into the next game then, it is the second round of the Carabao Cup against MK Dons. I'm going to actually be trying the 5 at the back like we were in the last game. I'm going to change this team quite a bit, but I could see Lawrence working at centre mid. I think he's got the ability to do a job there. I don't think Bellarabi would be able to, but we'll see what the lineup is when we get into the game. So here's the MK Dons team. I'm really struggling to know any of those players. I really don't have a clue. Maybe the left back, but maybe he's got the same name as someone I know from Newcastle and Rangers. Upson in the midfield rings a bell as well, but it's a team we should be quite easily winning against. On the edge here for Dons with the shot and with the goal. MK Dons make it 1-0 in the Carabao Cup. That's the wonders of the Cup. Anyone can do anything. And when you're playing against a team that you don't know any of the players, you don't know who's good at shooting, you don't know who's what footed, you don't know who's pacey, it's very difficult. I think the combination of problems there that caused that goal, we had a free kick and we didn't quite clear it, and yeah, they've made it 1-0, probably deserved. Next full time against MK Dons, we've lost 1-0 in the end. Just because of open, from open play, I think this formation works. From that set piece, it really disrupted everything. They probably deserved it. We were pretty poor up front. I didn't want to bring on like a Che Adams and Moses Simon in this game because I need him for the next one. No day rest then, so into the next one against Rangers. We are currently 1 goal to the good, but obviously that can change quite easily, so I'm going to have to maybe make 1 or 2 changes. I might bring in Schürrle for the Ox, because I feel like we're still quite good in terms of goals. It's just the fact we need to make sure we don't concede. Let's have a look at the Rangers team then. They've gone for that 4-4-2 again. Same lineup, I think. Yeah, exactly the same lineup as the one in the last episode. Again, I don't really know too many players, but they managed to score 3 goals. That Morelos and Rossiter in the midfield doing quite good. we should be able to hold them off, hopefully, especially at home. We've got the advantage. Into Vidra's path, he's straight through on goal with the shot and with the goal. That's what we needed. We needed an early goal just to get that extra cushion. The Rangers were on the attack, pretty much all that attack from the start. They only had 2 players back, and yeah, we managed to get the attack going. Waited for the run of Vidra, and it's a great left foot finish to hopefully get us into the Champions League. Into Adams on the edge, waiting for the run of Jeff. He's found him. Can he get the finish though, Jeff Hendrick? Yes, he can. Off the underside of the crossbar, and I think that's through to the Champions League group stage. We are 6-3 on aggregate. He's been really good actually recently, Jeff Hendrick, just with those charging runs through the middle, getting a lot of goals for us. Now it is full time against Rangers. We are through to the group stage of the Champions League. We'll be able to see what teams we are grouped with. Obviously, Matai Vidra and Jeff Hendrick. Just putting the nail in the coffin, really. We were pretty confident in that game. We just put it on defensive and let the game play out. There we go, 2 million added to the budget, hopefully, I think. If that's been added now, we've got a good... Maybe not. So it just said 2 million added to the budget, but the budget's exactly the same. Maybe we have to wait a day or two, and then it will be added. Just let me have a look if the draw has been done, though, for our groups. So here's our group in the Champions League. We have got Bayern Munich, Villarreal and Club Brugge from the Pro League. I'm pretty happy with that group. We've got a team obviously a lot better than us in Bayern Munich. That'll be a good challenge for us, but quite an aging squad. There's quite a few old players in there that will be a bit lower rated, but still Villarreal and Club Brugge, obviously we should be able to beat Brugge, and Villarreal probably a similar-ish level to us, so I think overall pretty happy with that. There's no real shocking clubs in the Champions League. Overall I've just had a quick skim through, and yeah, it's going to be a competitive year. So I think we're going to end off this episode here. I'm actually going to resign as the England boss because of obviously there's no tournament now for the next few seasons. It was kind of handy for scouting reasons to have that job, but now that there's no international tournament for a while, there's no real point in keeping it. So we have got the game against Manchester City in the next episode, then deadline day. We have got 7.5 million to spend. Now what do we actually need? That's the question. I'm kind of tempted to try that other formation we had, but with our first team players. The problem is with that team we had in that last game against MK Dons, it was a very second team, like Abraham and Bennett up front. I don't think that combination quite worked. I think with Adams it probably would have worked a little bit better. Yeah, let me know in the comment section. I might need that money though. The only issue is for contracts. That's the only other thing, because if players are running out, we're going to have to give them a new contract, such as Lawrence, Simon, and yeah, just Lawrence and Simon. Probably give one to Wisdom as well. He's not on too much wage. But the thing is about these players, because I've had them on these contracts for so long, they're going to want a lot more money. So we're probably going to either lose most of that transfer budget we've got, or we just leave them and just let him go, because this is probably going to be the last season anyway. We may do a 5th, but I think 4 is quite good. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like rating if you did enjoy this episode. Champions League football, really can't wait to get going in that. We have got Club Brugge and Villarreal probably in the next episode. Maybe not the Villarreal one, but definitely the Club Brugge one. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Leave a like rating if you did enjoy, and see you soon. Bye.